All right, good morning everyone. I've got some paint here. This is that frost color, the same color that's on the walls. I'm gonna do this entire wall in frost on both sides. After, of course, got a primer at first and then we'll paint tomorrow. On the other side as well, we're gonna do the same frost color, because the reason that we're gonna use that frost color is for lighting purposes. So when I've got studio lights, like for instance, these lights here, direct lights, whatever you're filming on is terrible, especially from above. So like if I have lights up here and then aim them towards the white, it'll make a diffuse light, which is much more, it's much better on camera. So that's the idea there. Yeah. I did fill these yesterday before I went to bed, but I only used the top coat. So this is that 45, dries in 45 minutes. Did that a few minutes ago, got about a half hour to wait, I guess. And then we can primer. We're gonna start installing the tongue and groove up here on the walls. We have an issue down here in the bottom. So what we're gonna do, once we come across, I haven't decided if I'm gonna go on top of this or if I'm gonna try to cover this up. I think covering it up would be better. The only problem is we have like a 1/2 inch protrusion there. I could put furring strips and then attach the wood to the furring strips. That way the entire wall would be out about, you know, a 1/2 inch from the current drywall. I also have to remove this and bring it out, and that's attached right to the stud, so that'll be fun. I could probably do that first. 6, 7, 8, 9. I think instead of having to worry about this and all that, we can have a much more uniform and probably better looking wall if we put the tongue and groove horizontally here instead of vertically. So we would, instead of having them up and down, we can have the tongue and groove going side to side, kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that instead. All right, so here is the air filter that I got. It's the JDS AirTech. It's the 750, the model 750. This thing here is gonna be plenty for this room. So problem is, look at this. I mean, it's like, not only is it dirty and full of like hair and stuff, but it's like brown. Like I think the guy might have been a smoker. So I do have a replacement filter for it. So I'm not even gonna attempt to clean this. I'm just gonna replace it. Oh yeah. I wonder if I could just get a replacement. I'm gonna see if I can get a replacement, see how much they cost. Because cleaning these things out, I mean, you could do it, but like you can tell the guy was like a cigar smoker or something. I don't want my shop smelling like that. All right, here in Denver at Air Filter Solutions, they said, yeah, they could hook me up, and that dumpster is locked. I'll just take this home and throw it out. I went ahead and purchased a new one. It actually costs less to purchase a brand new filter and this other part here than if I was to purchase one online. It always pays to shop local, I think. Man, this thing stinks. All right, we got this thing. I took it all apart and I sprayed all of the little crevices and everything, the fan. I wiped everything down with alcohol, got new filter in here, new bag filter in there, wiped the exterior off really good, and saved a whole bunch of money on that. It does run. All the reviews I saw on this specific product, a lot of people claim it's the best you can get. So yeah, air filtration system. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna install 4 chains. So we're gonna hang it from the ceiling by these 4 hooks. All I have to do now is get measurements of these 4 hooks. I gotta get it centered somehow up there, and then we're gonna run it to either this for them. And some chain. All right, went over to Ace Hardware, got a few chains and some hooks and some of these guys. So we'll go ahead and we'll install these. I already have the holes drilled. I went ahead and used my calipers to get a diameter somewhere between the inner threads and the outer threads here. That way when I screw these into the ceiling, they'll be nice and tight. Okay, so these S hooks here, these are a little bit too fat to fit through these links like this. So I had to flatten them out and widen them out a bit. That way these S hooks will fit in there so they can hang. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish these three up, and then we can get this thing into the ceiling. I already have the holes drilled. All right, I've got them all opened up a little bit so I can get these through. And then I'm also clamping these in. Not that I have to worry about them ever falling out, because they're gonna be suspended from the ceiling. But it doesn't hurt just to clamp these things down with a vise. It's like this. Right? That way, if there's some kind of a violent earthquake or paranormal activity, then I'm good to go. All right, there we go. We have it plugged in up here. Got the cord right there. All right, we've got the Kills primer up. We have one coat on there. We'll probably do 2, maybe 3 coats, because I have a whole gallon of it, and I only have this wall and the other wall to do. And I am forced to do probably 3 coats anyway, because I found some bubbling tape. So I had to cut it out with the razor blade, peel it off, and then I put more 45 in there. This is the way that I fix it. I don't know if there's a better way to fix that bubbling tape other than preventing it from happening to begin with. But when I put my first coat on directly on top of the drywall, I made sure it was wet and thick, and then I laid the tape down, and then I, started from the middle. I pushed all the bubbles out with a fresh top coat, and sometimes it just continues to bubble a little bit. I don't know. I'm not a drywall guy. I'm just I'm not really sure what the heck I am. I can't really put the flooring in yet. I do have the flooring sitting here on the pallet, but I can't install it yet because I don't want paint dripping on it. So I gotta wait till I'm completely done primering and painting. Then we'll put the floor down. What we could do, I suppose, is we could probably start ripping that outlet out, because that has to come out a 1/2 inch, because this stuff here is a 1/2 inch thick. That outlet is gonna have to be obviously mounted right there on the tongue and groove. Haven't really figured out what to do here yet. Maybe I do have to do a couple fairing strips, maybe 1 fairing strip there, maybe another one across, all the way across, just to make it even. Because no matter what I do, I might be able to chisel the back out of one of the tongue and groove pieces to make the entire wall flush. That would make things a lot easier. Or I can chisel this concrete down. So what's easier to chisel, wood or concrete? Wood, right? So that's what I'll do for the bottom, probably 2 pieces. I'm gonna have to kind of puzzle fit them in, because over on this side, it's flush against the wall. But over here, comes out, so we'll figure it out. All right, so it is time to take this outlet out, take the box and bring it out about a 1/2 inch from where it is. So how do I do that, right? So the box is nailed to the stud, which is on this side, from this side on the top and from this side on the bottom. So I have to cut up and over and probably out a little bit on both sides here, probably 2 little squares, rectangles. Find a way to pull that nail out, bring the entire thing out, and then drive the nails back in. Now, you know, there's no way to drive nails back in it because I won't be able to hammer. So I'm gonna have to use long screws right there once I bring this out. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of drywall repair. I wanted to get rid of this wood. I would come into the door and then I had to come all the way around here, and it was just annoying. So I went ahead and started installing the backdrop for the YouTube studio. Yeah, it's a little bit gappy and stuff here in the corners. They're not all exactly the same size. But again, it's the same deal with up here. This up here was even worse, but that one piece of molding right there, that fixed everything. So I'm gonna, of course, put molding on all the corners. So I'm getting to the point where all the pieces are not going to be 110 inches and 1/8. Now they're gonna start having these weird angles and stuff. I do have some wood left. I have a good amount left. Now I don't really need to use it past, I mean, that's probably as far as I really need to go, because the camera is gonna be mounted about here, and that's where I'll be sitting. So this is what you'll see on screen with like me there and that behind it. You'll never see this up here, but I am gonna go ahead and finish it off, and then once I get to that point, I'll decide if I'm gonna keep going. I don't think it would make sense to keep going. Nah, we'll just stop right there. Cool, got that done. We're making progress. Now, I am definitely done for the night. I'm gonna finish this one last piece, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.